Actually, I am playing Minecraft today, but it's not playing with Ved, or I'm not playing on survival. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make a elevator in Minecraft, a working elevator in Minecraft. So, well, you'd think, is it possible to make an elevator in Minecraft? If so, how? Well, today I can cover that. This is not on my server or on anyone's server. This is actually in a survival world, but I just did a lot of redstone in this world. Just forget about those structures in the back. So anyways, for first of all, you will need a bunch of ingredients. I mean, what do you need a bunch of resources. You can, first of all, you need the resources for a flying machine. Now I think a lot of you know what a flying machine is. It's a very this is the most simplest design of a flying machine, which I'm going to be using today. It's like this. Now I know this doesn't make sense for most, because like it just doesn't make sense, but when you make this observer start, it just starts moving on its own, like completely moving on its own. I'll reduce the volume, guys. So this is called a flying machine, and it can work horizontally as well. So this is what we're going to be using today for our elevator. And so first of all, you gotta build a flying machine, which means, since I'm using you can actually use both honey blocks and slime blocks. So in this case, I'm using slime blocks because when you use, when I'll use honey blocks, because if you use slime blocks, you just get propelled in the sky. Like, see, I'm gonna make a flying machine out of these slime blocks. The problem is, like, if you actually step on the slime block, you just keep getting pushed by it. See, like this. So yeah, that's a problem. I mean, you could just stand on this, but who knows, you might just accidentally stand on this and you just get propelled into the sky. That's why I wanted to use well, honey blocks for today. So let's fill this area, because both the slime blocks and honey blocks are always, sticky. So we're gonna use honey blocks. And also, it's best if you put a node block in the area where you put the observer, because you can switch on the observer with that. Like, for example, see, okay. Yeah. So now if I build a flying machine from scratch and put some slime blocks like this, and then do the same thing reverse. Yeah. So now if I click on this, it starts moving. Okay, that's simple. It's logic. So anyways, we'll need to put a limit for this. I think this high will be enough. This high, yeah. So now when you put this here, you have to make sure that it stops there, which means you should use obsidian, since obsidian cannot be pushed by pistons, which is the whole concept of this, let's say, flying machine. So anyways, you start with the flying machine, then you have to, it depends on how big you want one floor to be. Like in this case, it's this long. I just made it very long. So here also you place a node block and put a obsidian here, so that this doesn't go forever, since if it's a pushable item, this will happen. Like, let me just put this so that the flying machine doesn't go off. Now if I put this flying machine on, what will happen is this gets pushed up, as you can see, since it's a pushable item. So when that gets pushed up, if there's no unmovable block on top, then the flying machine will just go on to the sky. That's why you need to put an obsidian here or on top, or yeah, there. So now that we've got the basic flying machine, let's start. So first of all, I'm gonna use buttons for this, because you can't exactly Oh, and also this we actually have to stand here. So I'm going to place stone here. No, wait. Since stone can be pulled by a honey block, I mean it sticks to a honey block. So now if you, it's not exactly like you can stand here and switch it on, right? You need, because you, if you stand here and switch it on, you will miss the elevator. I mean you'll mostly miss it. So it's a problem, and that's why, and this is the main part of the elevator, how to switch it on, how to move it. So instead, oh great, anyways, as I was saying, what you do, you place a piston here, for sticky piston, it has to be a sticky piston, and then behind and put in front of it put a stone block, then behind it you gotta put a redstone torch so that it's always on. Now that it's always on, it won't, like, we gotta do the same thing up, but first down we'll do. So basically now when we put this down, the way how observers work is, if anything happens in top of them, like, see, if I place a block, I mean I have to show it with the redstone symbol. See, oh, this is going the wrong way, sorry. No, see, like this, see. So now if I place a block here, it will write it. See over there, you saw, for a second it lights, very quickly it lights. So basically this happens when the almost any change in a block, like in this side of this block I placed a block, an actual block, so it detected it and it started a redstone signal. So, and it also happens when you breaks block and place blocks. It also means that if a block is pushed out, like for example, if I put a sticky piston here and a not an obsidian, a stone here, and then I switch on switch on the piston, the observer will detect it for a second. And so that's what our main mechanic is. Since all we have to do is make the observer move, we just have to put, see, like for example here, my button is here. When I click this button, the flying machine should start, which is very simple actually. Simple redstone, you just need to use your brains. Simple. Now to cancel out this torch, you need to put the redstone in such a way that it goes under the torch. Like for example, not exactly under, like goes to the block. Like it has to go, redstone has to come like this. But if you do something like this, then it won't, because the direction is this side and not this side. So what you gotta do, you don't go this side, you instead go down in this side, and then you do like this, and now it's in this direction. So now it will stop this torch, and that means this piston will be moved, which means the observer will detect it and start moving. So that's how what our concept is, and it's very simple. So now that we have done that, so now if I click this button, see, the flying machine starts, which means it's basically our elevator now. So our elevator starts. Now let's just put a floor here, because I can't just, you can't just float everywhere. So this is our first floor, let's just say, yeah, in the first floor. So anyways, now that that's done, we have to figure out a way to put the elevator back down there. So first of all, let's put the place for our button, which is going to be over here, like this. So the button will be over here, so we can place a block here. And now that that's there, we will click this button, and then the elevator will go down. So now so actually this time we have to go to the upper this block, this exact block over here, the note block, which I'm going to replace with this, because now the same mechanic, I'm just going to put a piston here. So when I switch on this piston with a redstone torch, now it's moving, right? So if I pull it again, it will start the flying machine basically. So now that that's done, let's link that button to this torch. So by the way, if you guys are thinking what's the use of this elevator if there's so much ugly redstone, well, actually it doesn't matter, since the only reason we use elevators is in buildings. So if you actually like use an elevator, you can hide the redstone in the building walls and all. So simple logic. Okay, it's done. It's that simple. We just link all of this together, and we should put a repeater here since uh, it's too long. The redstone line is too long. If you know how basic redstone works, you will realize that the line is way too long. So now it goes here, but again the same issue. It's that it's not going into the block. So we got to do something like this, where the block is placed here, and this is useless. Here like this. Ah, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. Like this, and then you do like this. I think you should place one more repeater about here because it might just be too long. Might. So now this is connected. This is going to move. So now, oh, and also be sure to put a piece of obsidian above it because as I just oh yeah, as I well actually I just think I showed you, right? Yeah. So if the we have to put above it or the it will just go infinitely into space. So anyways, now that that's done, we realize let's put this elevator back up. So now I'm on the top. I'm on the top floor and I just want to go back to the ground floor. I'll just click this button. Uh, yeah, it's oh something went wrong. Something went wrong for sure. You know when something goes wrong, actually what you should do is you should instead of just trying to check in time, you should just place a lever here instead and then realize what's going on. Like see, I'm switching this on now. So what happened is okay, the redstone line is going like this. Then what's the problem? There's no problem. So why did it just stop mid-place? Hmm. Weird. Okay, I'm just gonna place a button back. So it should work now. Let me check again. I'm going back up, no problem. And now if I click this button, I should. Yeah. No. What is happening? I think the button is too close. No, I think the redstone machinery is too close to the flying machine. So what we gotta do in this case, simple, we just move it by one block. Which means we put stuff like this, we remove this whole line. And I think we should place the button here instead. But it will still works, don't worry. And we should definitely place a repeater here. So now it's connected and it works. It should work. So now, oh, right. Let's just click this button again. Yeah, it works. It works. Good. Okay. So now, if I come, now it should work properly and not stop in between. Let's see. It takes a little bit of. Oh no! What happened? Why does it stop? I don't understand. When I click this button. Oh, I got it. What's wrong? You see how this redstone wire is lying. Whenever even if redstone goes through one block, it can still light the piston on the other side. So, like for example here, it still lights the piston, which means even though it's cancelling the torch, it's still lighting the piston. Which means I got to make this wire go like this instead. Okay, that's a simple issue to fix. We do something like this so that the direction is correct, and then we wait a second. Is this a problem too? Oh no, we gotta figure out a solution. Oh, I get it. I get the problem. This redstone torch shouldn't be here. It should actually be here. No, no, no. Wait. I mean, it should be here on the. Where's my? Oh yeah, right. It should be on the piston, on the block, same block. So now we can just put a redstone here, and now it works for sure. It has to work now. Unless there's another issue, it should work. Let's check. So we switch on this. So now it's here, and now we click this button and it works. See, so it's very simple, but also you think the elevator is done, but there's one more thing. Like an elevator needs like for example, you are here and your elevator is there. What can you do? You can't exactly just fly like this and come to this platform. So what we got to do, we make a button so that the elevator comes back here. Like in this case, I'll put the button on this side. So this button, you'll think this part is very hard since it's like we have to somehow get the elevator back, but it's pretty simple. All we have to do is make sure this button goes according to this redstone, because this redstone pushes this piston, which makes the thing go down. So we gotta link that button. And no, and in this case I'm not going to just put redstone in a row. Instead I'm just gonna use easy technique to go up blocks and down blocks also. So all we have to do, since it's right above us, let's move a little this side like this. Now that it's not above us, we can put this piston here, put a piston here. Then using slime blocks or honey blocks, build this tower as high as you want it to be up, but it shouldn't go above 11 blocks. How many blocks is this? 3 4 5 oops 5 6 7 8 come on, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So we gotta make it sure it's not above the limit. So in this case, then we get a redstone block out and we put it here. So how this works is very simple. When the piston pushes these blocks, the redstone block gets pushed up, and then it lights this redstone over here. That way we can transmit a signal all the way over here. Now it's very simple what you have to do. Actually, I'm gonna start my redstone from here and simply link it up. That's it. Now that that's done, whenever this piece moves, then it will take it like this. And don't worry about it going like this, because this repeater stops it. It can't go backwards because of this repeater. So now that that's done, it's very simple. Now when we click, okay, let's just send the machine up. Now when we click this button, it should come back. Yeah, see, it works. It perfectly works. So now it come back down. But we also got to create a button exactly like this for the upper floor also. So let's do that. So now that, no, actually on second thought, I'm not putting the button here because this button is here and it might interfere with that. So I'm gonna put the button on here. No, it actually here is good only. So now that that's done, you place the button. Oh yeah, sorry. You place the button here, and then you put your redstone line down there. We can use the same exact method to do this, but you can also use walls. But I'm gonna use the same method because it's pretty efficient. So same method except it's backwards, which means I need to put a piston here so that I can put one here and remove this. And then I do the same thing backwards like this. However far I need it to go, except if it's above. I mean, this thing works if it's above 11 blocks also, but you can't place 11 more than 11 slime, or it won't push the piston. It's too much load. So anyways, now that that's done, I think that's enough. We put the redstone block here and we put the signal here, and we simply link it up like this, and yeah, that should do it. Wow, it's so simple. And it's coming up perfect. So now let's just put like a wall kind of thing around it. First of all, let's cover the back till here. So this, yeah, so basically this elevator can be used to go up and down, and it can also be sent from down to up and from up to down. So now you guys are wondering, does it work for other floors? Unfortunately, it does not, because there is a problem, and that is, you see, earlier when I told you that, because I told you that this flying machine works on pistons, it will push any movable blocks, which means, for example, if you get another floor, second floor, and then you want the elevator, I mean this thing, to go from here to here, to this first floor, not second floor. The problem is you can't go to the second floor if you have to, because you have to remove this block, because otherwise basically you have to wait. So anyways, as I was saying, you have to remove the unmovable block so that you can go up to the second floor. But the problem is, if you do that, then you can't go to the first floor, which is also a problem. And you can't exactly just push the unmovable block to stop the elevator, because unmovable blocks cannot be moved. Simple. They cannot be moved. Which means this type of design it just doesn't work on more than one floor. You can only do one floor at a time. So you gotta get another way to activate that observer down there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And by the way guys, you're probably wondering, I just saw this from like Google that I can just do this, but no, actually I did this all myself. You see, I'm not that good of a redstone engineer, but I'm very good. I have a lot of time, which means I can do redstone a lot of times. So I work with it, and I've recently made plenty of structures. This is my earlier. It's the same thing. It's a elevator only. Like, see, I click this button, I go down. It's simple. It's the same thing. I just wanted to show it to you guys how to make it. And then there's this thing that I made, which is basically like a cobblestone platform generator, which means that even if I break every single one of these stone blocks, it will just be replaced. Like, see, right now there's a block up here, right? So if I get some TNT and I put it here, even if it explodes the stone blocks. It broke one of the redstone. Let me fix that real quick. Yeah, see, it's filling already. It's almost done filling already. So that's how it's basically a cobblestone moving platform. How it's built is you put cobblestone generators on all four sides, and then you put this line of pistons which pushes the blocks to the middle. And earlier I said only 11 blocks, right? That's a rule, because if you put more than 11 blocks, the piston can't push them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But there's also from this side, so it's more than 11. So anyways, you do this and it works. It's basically like a regenerating cobblestone platform. The only problem is if you accidentally break one of the redstone, the whole thing goes apart. So yeah, you can place a lot of TNT above it and it won't exactly break. It just keeps regenerating. It's pretty slow because not that easy to do. You need good timing for this, and I couldn't get to good timing because the way this works is the pistons just stay a lot, which means I have to do it quickly and all. Like if I did just put a load of repeaters, the problem is the signal stays for too long. Like see, now only it stays for a good amount of time, and that time it stays way too long. So I had to make it short so that it doesn't stay for long also. And so this is basically a infinite system where for some reason if you put it like around like this to back to the comparator, it just starts, and if you remove the item inside, it stops. You put it back, it starts again. So it works like that. Oops, I shouldn't do that. So anyways, this is a regenerating cobblestone platform, and then this structure underneath, you're probably wondering what the hell this is, but it's a very simple invention. Anyone who knows actual redstone can do it. So it's actually an arrow launcher, which I made myself again. So if you shoot an arrow straight onto this on this block, and then you click on this button, it will go like that. It will go all the way over there. See? Oh wait, I didn't click it. Oh, I collected the arrow. Let me place it again. So basically, see, now that it's lighted, then you have to put a perfect, see, it pushed it exactly. And then I created this kind of system. This is basically just to, so it's actually an arrow launcher which makes the arrow go all the way from there to there. It's that long. So yeah, if we do that, it just works, but it doesn't increase the damage of an arrow. It doesn't increase the damage, unlike the crazy damage dripstone one. Oh yeah, and also, yeah, so this is the dripstone one, and also this, it can also work with sand blocks. It depends on this delayed repeater. For example, why I placed an observer here is, you see, whenever you break, wait, let me get my dripstone. Where is my dripstone? Oh yeah, it's here. So whenever you get a whenever, if you've ever gone into a dripstone cave, or you know about dripstone, you know that if you break the block above a dripstone, it's gonna fall. So using this, the way I did this is, oh no, I forgot. I switched those command blocks on just to see how much damage it does. Wait, for now I'm gonna break this. So basically, now when you place a dripstone here, what it does when you break this, it takes out a redstone signal which goes from here. It lights the piston so that the dripstone, when a dripstone is falling, it's treated as an entity. But when it reaches the ground, it's not an entity anymore. Like for example, if I just put a slime block here and I put a dripstone above, like here, if I break this, it just stops because it's not an entity when it reaches the ground. It will only be treated as an entity when it's moving. Which means I put an observer here so that it's perfect timing. Like exactly when it touches the block, it goes. Like exactly when it stops being an entity, the slime block pushes it. So as you can see here, I break this. The dripstone, it gets boosted all the way over there, similar to the arrow one. Oh my god! And guys, a dripstone which has been launched, even if it's one block, it'll do insane amounts of damage. For example, if I spawn just tons of creepers here, oh yeah, this is satisfaction. Ooh. See what will happen is when I switch on this dripstone thingy. See, when I break this, it will go super fast, and then suddenly it will just kill all the creepers. Yeah, it just kills them. It immediately kills them as soon as it touches them. But normally, when you just drop a dripstone on top of you, it barely does any damage. Like, see, now I drop this dripstone, and why did I put stone? Where? I have better idea. Yeah, let's place it here. So now I break this. When I break this block, the dripstone falls, and no, it doesn't kill me. It just damages me a little. More dripstone does more damage, and also the increase of distance between a dripstone and you, it's basically like that. So whenever this, that's why, but this is different for some reason. I think because of the amount of distance from where it's dropped to the amount of distance where it's here, like even if you completely wear full netherite armor, you'll still die by it. I mean, not prot 4, maybe even prot 4, but I don't have enough patience to do that. Like, see, now I'm in netherite armor, and wait, let me first put a block here. So now, what these two, both command blocks does, this one teleports me to that area where it kills the creepers, and this one makes me survival so that I can die. So, when I link this, and then I break it, the observer's thing, signal goes to the command blocks as well. So now when I break this, I'll also be teleported here, and then I die. Yes, that's right, I die. I simply die. It's that powerful. Even with netherite armor, it still kills me. And I think it works against prot 4 too. Protection 4. I can't be sure, but I think. Oh, and as I told you guys, it also works in sand blocks. You just gotta delete this stick once, and then if you put a sand block here. Oh yeah, I should remove my this redstone thingy. Anyways, see, it pushes the sand block as well, and then this thing gets pushed, and then it reaches the. In fact, if you break this trapdoor, actually, it will land on it. It will actually place the block instead of breaking it. See, like for example, now if I place it here, it just goes all the way over here, which just looks so funny. See, it gets placed. It literally gets placed because when it's like dripstone, when it falls, it's treated as an entity, and when it reaches the ground, it's a normal block again. So using this, we can just place more and more sand blocks. Unfortunately, you can't place them infinitely because you need more height for that. So yeah, like that, and it just goes all the way to there, and depending on the position, you can place up to 2, 3 sand blocks. This is all my inventions in this world. This world is actually called Redstone World, as you can see here. When I close it, yes, you can see this is Redstone World, and this was just a speedrun I was trying today. And that day I was showing Dragon Killer, right? This is one. And then this is also a little bit of redstone, but it's mostly about how to speed reach in that one. I'm very bad at speed reaching, so I'm actually practicing. I'll give you a peek at it. Let me go into this world. Yeah, it is. I died. I know. So what this does? First of all, when you click on a command block, so get some blocks to place. Then what actually happens is you can't exactly break every block that you've placed once you die, right? So I made an automatic system for that. So now I speed reach and I die. So when the blocks go on the ground, it triggers a command block which completely makes the blocks disappear. So I can keep practicing it for how long I want. Unfortunately, because there's so many blocks, it's just repeated now. Oh my god, it's so laggy because of the amount of blocks I have. So it's a good way to do speed bridging. You just keep, or you just gotta do it very fast. And you can see it actually. What I've just done is I'm saying to replace these blocks with air. So I just yeah, you get it. You probably get it if you understand commands. Yeah, I'm actually terrible at speed bridging, as you can see. I only do like 3 blocks usually. Oops. And you know the best thing? I made it at such a height that actually, oh, so close. If I place a block there, before I actually reach the ground, I'll actually survive. Can you believe it, guys? Uh, See, I placed a block and I survived. But if I don't place a block, I die. So when I actually place a block by accident, I've created this system. This command block gives me a netherite pickaxe and this one kills me. Yeah, so this is a renewable, easy system. And yeah, so actually, that's how it works. It's very simple. And this is how I learn how to speed reach. I'm still very bad at it though. I do it for a few days. Why not? So anyways guys, that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll find a new design that can go more than 2 floors actually. So bye guys, see you next time.